3 to 5 games, you'll see very similar drafts, I imagine.
I imagine AM is going to be the hot commodity between both of these teams, without question. And it's going to be granted to Cloud9 first on Ritsu, who we know can play a beastly AM. Time and time again, even EE himself, raising player and what he can do, how he thinks outside the box, how he finds his farm, and just when he makes those committed blind jumps, just knowing that it's safe to go for. I mean, we'll even see TC. He'll try to do his casual AM farm, and he'll even run into a bit of trouble. And we know how crafty of a veteran TC can be. Just really shows the raw talent some of these new up-and-comers got here. Yeah. So now we're going to go into our second phase of picks here. This has been coming after bans on Storm and Dazzle for DC side. Cloud9 removed the TA and then the Winter One as a follow-up. And
we saw this yesterday in some of the games. One of the great things about the AM pick is that suddenly your opponents can't really pick Storm. I mean, you can place, I think it was early in the Alienware Cup where like we'd have a Storm spread against AM, but it's a really bad matchup for Storm. And it's one of your best heroes, but Digital Chaos themselves are like, well, we don't want to run Storm to AM. Instead, it forces them to ban a hero, so it uses up one of their second stage bans, and it just really puts Cloud9 in a pretty good spot as far as the draft is concerned.
Indeed. Are going to be pulling out the Shadow Fiend, something that I'm throwing out to you even just yesterday as far as where is this hero really gone. I guess you can attest that to what you were saying just earlier about where the meta has just been building up even within this own mini tournament and between these two teams. Shadow Fiend had been something that almost all the teams up to this point had been just kind of passing over, leaving it back in its DAC heyday. But here it comes once again. It's going to be on the dire side and more than likely in the hands of Yawar. What are your impressions now that it's finally showed an ugly face?
I'm looking forward to seeing. I think we'll see some stacked Dota from, I mean, especially game teams will be coming out and I think playing their safe standard Dota. I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of kills, a lot of action. Digital Chaos will have their support stacking a lot for Yawar and Shadow Fiend. That's going to be a key part of their overall strategy. Earthshaker is going to be helping him out. And it also limits like what Cloud9 can kind of pick for the mid lane. Not many of your kind of top tier mids left outside of maybe like a Queen of Pain, although another hero Brax played amazingly well in a game you cast was the Wind Ranger.
Wind Ranger, I knew you were going to say.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That to me stands out as maybe the hero to put Brax on here in game 1. But we'll see if that's what Cloud9 have in mind.
I mean, a lot of focus had been built around, Ritsu as a player. And everything that he's been able to accomplish so far, just being so young and, well, frankly, being kind of a rookie in the competitive scene. But Brax, who's been a veteran for quite a while, is really starting to evolve. I mean, we'd seen stagnant play which is above average, obviously, top-notch play from Brax, but now it's like he's almost taking it to another level. It's something that's been very marvelous, and he's not trying to just play in the shadow of their new pub star player. He is definitely making a new name for himself. Just thank God it's not like 30 names of Brax across the top of his hero, because that was getting ridiculous. But as you said, Wind Ranger is something they could consider here. We'll have to see. In the meantime, though, they do snag up the Witch Doctor, typically a prize grab for T-Bin, but it's going to be also countered by a Visage grab here for Howie. So more another greedy support. Could help a bit with the stack game. You know what he can do with the hero.
Yeah. Digital Chaos do not have good zoning for their safe lane, though. Visage can't really bully out whatever offlane Cloud9 are running. It looks to be the Tusk. We could see a dual lane even come out of C9 if they're feeling confident. And I think Witch Doctor, Anti-Mage alone easily can deal with the Darks here. So this is almost where Cloud9 may look to consider going for that Tusk +1. Kind of go for like a Team Fire-like draft. We saw them going for that Tusk Undying a lot. But for now, there's a lot of partners for Tusk, so they want to secure their mid. They grab Wind Ranger. No surprises there after Brax's previous performance on the hero, and I think this is just, I mean, solid drafting from both teams. Like Cloud9, I think, have the slight edge, but a lot of that just goes back to the fact they had first pick. First pick is going to be the coveted position to be in here in this grand finals. And you can such control.
Yeah, you can surely bet that both these teams have been premeditating these drafts, running over different possible scenarios. If they open with the Darkseer Earthshaker, if they make that ban on the Bounty Hunter, what are we going to pull for here? If we get that coin flip advantage, like they have probably plotted out every possible scenario and are just going with what their choreographed draft is up to this point. Somewhat adjustments on the fly. Maybe something like a Shadow Fiend might have caught him a bit off for the side of Cloud9. For DC, though, this seems like for the side of Cloud9, the best at what you can get in this opportunity so far. But final bans coming out. DC going to be eliminating the Clockwork off lane, one of the best off lane options that are still out there. But they're anticipating it couldn't be a dual lane setup in that case. And then Cloud9 removed the PL. So.
I like the PL ban because it's one of the better safe carries when you don't have strong supports with you. He's very sustainable on lane. He can actually zone a bit himself with the Spirit Lance, and it's one of the better carry to have when you don't have that really good support duo zoning out off lanes, or even a single support to zone out off laners. So it does deny them a bit of control in the safe lane. TC Emperor, though, it looks like.
I almost was going to say possibly Bloodseeker could have been something.
Yeah,
very good to counter the AM.
I was thinking about Bloodseeker as well, but TC had a rough game on Bloodseeker yesterday, so I think that may also be a bit off-putting for them.
And are we certain this is going to be a TC Ember?
No, by no means.
Could be a Yawar in the mid lane Ember. I know he's familiar with the hero. I've seen him play it many a time on his stream, and we know TC can work with Shadow Fiend. So this could very well be a safe lane Shadow Fiend set with the Ember on the mid.
And they even swapped lanes. We had TC playing mid Leshrac yesterday with Yawar on a safe lane. It was safe lane Storm, actually. So they had a Storm Leshrac game where, TC played mid. So if they feel the player hero combos is going to work better with TC go mid, they are happy to put TC mid. He's not exclusively a safe lane farming role.
They also could have figured that with what remaining possible option could be here, that Bloodseeker would have just not been the best option. So we'll see now for Cloud9. Are they going to go for that Undying, a Spirit Breaker, some sort of other heavy hitter to put in tandem with that?
I don't know if they have a tech player. Otherwise, because we're not seeing techies get banned. So
that's on, that would be on SVG, which is probably the most unknown player of all 10 players here.
Maybe MSS plays it and then SG plays the Tusk, but I don't know if MSS is really known for his techies as well.
Yeah, because that's the other thing is normally SVG is the big Tusk player. Getting a price for that play, so could see them put MSS on this potential pick, and maybe the DC was anticipating with the ban, and it's going to be the techies. Nice call. Like we haven't seen it yet from Cloud9.
Oh boy!
But they're going to give it a whirl. So far, we've obviously seen a lot from your EGs, even in this very tournament. Fire, Whitebeard representing it. But here we go for just game number 1 of the grand final. There it is. Lo and behold, the neckbeard hero himself.
Game on.
That's it. All right. And it looks like so far it is going to be an SVG grab. So that's just one of those things the player don't know a lot about, don't have a lot of research on. You don't know what's in his hero pool. You don't know what he's capable of. And he's been showing that pool gets a little bit deeper each and every matchup here.
I really like Cloud9's draft. They haven't got an amazing way of dealing with the techies. They may actually decide to switch it up and put, I don't know if you really want to put Shadow Fiend's thing, because the Tusk Snowball basically guarantees kills with Suicide, and that's where we want to get SF the mid lane just to secure him some early game laning farm, but it's going to be a rough safe lane for DC. The safe lane for C9 is looking good. You've got Anti-Mage Witch Doctor who can easily deal with the Darkseer, so I think DC may actually try mix up their lanes a bit just to kind of throw C9 off here.
Already a bathroom. He could kidding, but it's going to be a long one. A best of 5, even though...
And game 1 has a techie, so this game itself could be a long one.
Yeah, the indicator at the top looks like it is incorrect there, but this will be a full best of 5 setup.
Unfortunately, Reborn doesn't allow best of 5 lobby settings at the moment. It's being worked on.
We're in beta.
We've sent the word to the Valve Corporation. They're getting a fix on, hopefully, in the near future.
Whew. All right. I'm curious, what was the odds of this matchup on paper? We had to frantically get everything kind of set up here at the conclusion of the Alienware matchup, but I'm just curious for the general public. I would almost put this at 50-50 or close to it, and it's 62 to C9 side, which I could see the influence for that.
Yeah, just based on the last series where, DC lost a game 1 where they really looked like they should have won, and then game 2 kind of got stomped, which often happens when you lose close game 1. So I think looking back at the last series, it was very close. I'd say maybe it's more like 55-45 C9 favored. It does feel a little bit like C9 do have DC's number after that last series, but DC, like you said, would have come in, theory crafted the draft, knowing exactly what they were going to pick based on how the bans and opening picks went. So they were willing to give up the Tusk Anti-Mage. Even when they picked Earthshaker Darkseer, they probably knew that the second pick was going to be an Anti-Mage coming out of C9.
As I just kind of...
Here again.
Yeah, here we go again. So when they first pop in, they just stand still like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play some Dota. But it's because, first I'm going to put my weapon right between my legs. It's its comfort spot. and we're going to get happening here. But
just using it as a little seat, you know?
But as I fly through all of these grabs, it's just like comfort hero. I mean, SVG, we don't really know how comfortable he is on techies, but Owie Visage, we'd already know what Biryu could do on this Breaker. He made so many big setups with that.
Take a little look down bottom quickly.
To get the classic TP from this. Damn it. Bulba's just like, I want to get there and get that ward down. But even if I get the TP like that and get down there, it just doesn't matter. I'm not going to get there in time. Not going to be able to drop the ice stick. 1437 is just going to be there in case, and he'll put his own little ward down. This one's going to go right in the middle of the lane. A bit unorthodox, but that means more of a chance that it's going to stay there that much longer.
Yeah. And it's a good ward to have against a Darkseer who's normally putting Iron Shell on the creep wave and then kind of sitting back, so it gives you vision of where he is. You can harass a bit better. Gives Anti-Mage the vision to know when he can blink in for the just harass as well as the mana break damage and mana burn. So it's a good move. I'm really curious to see if DC just send Bulba to the offlane solo, because I feel like that's playing into C9's hands, and they may actually be looking at some kind of a dual lane or something a bit different for their offlane.
No early setup of mines anywhere for this techie. Saving the suicide just in case if he wants a roll-in surprise, but DC don't want that. They're all on bottom right now. All in for this bottom rune, but there's about 3 congregated together from the side of C9, which we could see some possible bloodshed.
Bulba going top, by the way. This is the mind games I was talking about. Just sending Bulba to the offlane is just too obvious, and C9 outlane them too hard. Techie's Tusk win the offlane, Witch Doctor, Anti-Mage win the safe lane. I think if DC just do standard lanes, they struggle this game.
Everyone's running around right now. This is a full audible call now. They're going to make their own swap. You want to mind game us? We're going to mind game you. And now we're going to send Techie's combo all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
Everyone's going to miss out on the first wave of creeps except for the lane.
What a century from UI. It's in range of the Observer Ward too.
Oh, okay. Easy. Snaggy's going to eat it up. That's a free 50 gold there.
Yep.
4037 is going to have to watch his ward go down now. They think that they're in a good spot. They change things up. Visage duel. But here comes trouble. Are they going to lead in with the early suicide? Pulls it up now, gods. Here we go. Whee! Boom! All the way across, but it's not going to be the first blood, believe it or not. First blood already occurs in the mid lane. It's Brax who's going to be going down first. Whoa, what happened there? A setup
raises, yeah.
Just in time. It's actually going to be DC who secured the first blood bounty.
That's pretty big for DC. And I was keeping an eye on Brax. Was getting very aggressive with how much he was trading hits with Shadow Fiend, and Urshick was just sitting there in the trees waiting. And I kind of looked at the suicide bottom. I didn't see the kill, but it was very much Yuwa just baiting Brax to trade hits. Brax was doing more damage and actually getting better trade there, but with the Earthshaker Fissure and a triple raid, SF gets the kill.
And Brax better be wary. Similar from what we saw each time Biru picked up this Earthshaker. He's not looking to adventure too far from his mid laner's backside. So before he overcommits, and now Bulba.
The lane swaps continue.
Yeah, he's I'm with top. I'm going to make my run all the way up through. Maybe there should have been a point where he's like, you know what? I'll just go in the jungle. Yeah. I got this Ion Shell buff. They're going to last longer, and maybe I can get some extra resources there. But no, they're going to swap it again.
This is a creep pulling keys now.
Don't see that very often, but I guess with the benefit of that ridiculous long range, it could help, I'm sure. But he needs to get that level 2 and get some mines down.
Yes.
It's way too big of a cooldown for suicide if you're just banking on that. So he'll get some assistance. MSS will chip the tree for the full pull through here. And he should be able to get some solo XP in the jungle.
Yep, that's going to help him out. So to see if the lane swaps continue with the anti-mage. You really wanted that AM versus Darkseer matchup, and DC are just adamant they're not going to give it to the anti-mage at this stage.
Looks he'll deal with it for now. Gets his early start because the benefit of first blood, no surprise. Yuara at a 12-2 CS advantage over Brax is 9-0. Not too dramatic, but Brax will eat that raise down to just his salve for now. To Yuar, Bottle still has his salve good to go. And with Biryu by his side, he'll be very, very confident because Biryu keeps stepping back. I'm sure he's going to be building up stacks here. He's going to get in position for the 1 right now. And I wonder if it's Cloud9 can even bother trying to contest. I mean, with this tech, he's kind of a lineup. I don't think they have the extra manpower to go in there. Oh, SVG scouts out Bulba. No suicide up yet, but he'll just pelt him briefly.
He doesn't. Bulba's unsure of the cooldown now. It's.
Oh my goodness, they're going in. He can drop another mine. Boop, bang. Can he get it down? He can. That is techies for you. And they're going to take Darkseer apart.
Yeah.
Frustrating for Bulba. He just wants to get as far away as possible from that duo, and he can't escape.
Well, he kind of wanted to be against the Techies lane just so the Ember Spirit wasn't. This is not by any means a good lane for a Darkseer, but it's much more about securing TC a decent laning stage, and TC for now is up against the Anti-Mage, which is what they kind of want. He's getting some levels, and he'll be able to have at least a decent mid game if he's not getting crushed by a Techies tough combo.
Checking back with top. They're going to dish out the slow. It will force out the blink from Ritsu.
Yep.
And he'll step back. Really acting as if he's a disciple of EE himself, changing his name to something I'm sure is from some sort of anime. But for it is for now,
I don't doubt it for a second.
he's just going to hope that he can live his own real-life anime right now and put his team on the back, take C9 to Singapore.
Yeah. You are having a great time in mid lane. Is up 9 CS on Brax right now. He's constantly throwing out harass raises, and this is a one mid lane for DC currently. So this is good news for them. Anti-Mage is going to try TP out top.
Oh, not happening.
He wanted that bot lane.
Big fish. That's going to cost him the 100 gold and all that extra time if he still wants to do the rotation.
And he can't farm this top lane. The pull camps are available, so DC are just using pulls to get some farm and experience, but more importantly, deny Anti-Mage farm and experience himself. So Anti-Mage just stuck up at this top lane, is not getting the farm he would hope for, and Tusk Techies are looking to fix that. They're on the move.
I was going to see if they had the manpower to contest. It looks like they want to try to go for it here. Now, most of the stack had already been chunked through. Biryu is the gatekeeper for this stack, and he's going to pop this Tusk. Shoots up the shards, and DC say, no way. We're out of here. And the job had already been done.
Really good for DC. Earthshaker, Biryu's been in the right position there. He scouts out the smoke gang. Not only is he standing there protecting the Shadow Fiend, he's warded it to detect any movement up there, and hey, okay, they smoke. They're going to get bypassed, but Biryu, again, in the right position to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, but they segue now up to this top lane.
Yeah.
Oh, but they are already pulling back. But it might be too late. The roll comes in. The mine could get dropped, and that will be the kill. No suicide even necessary for that. SVG is suddenly on a killing spree for his dirty little techies.
Tusk takes really nicely. It is 1437 soloing the safe lane, which is not really what they want. Anti-Mage TP won't be back up for maybe another 20-30 seconds, and he'll probably look to go towards the bottom lane, especially once the support Visage returns up top. He's not going to feel like he's too safe up here. Or he's not going to feel like he's going to get too much farm up here, really, more than anything.
X-Pulse is really getting a lot now in this bottom lane. He's quickly shot 21 CS. Is still just parked at level 4.
Yep.
Now he has the help of Owie nearby. I don't really foresee a kill opportunity here. There's still a T1 and I'm sure some rotations to come, but look who's been parked in this top lane waiting as well. MSS and SVG. Maybe a bit of my game saying that, how could they possibly make a return to top lane and do this again?
Yeah.
Well, they have the suicide still ready. He'd love to, but TC is very scared.
Bottom lane, here we go.
They're going to make the committed. Oh, 1437 is going to be in trouble here. Vacuum back. The Ion Shell starting to crack through them, and he will end up going down. It's going to be picked up there from Bulba.
Yep.
Nice grab for DC. And they
spends all the money, so doesn't lose too much there. And actually is saving skill points right now. He's only used 2 of his skill points, which I imagine is an intentional move. He's like, if a kill opportunity on the Darkseer rises with Maledict, he might quickly get a couple points in Maledict and go for the kill. Oh, Brax at mid.
Oh, they get him by the stack right now. Fish set up, but he's going to be win run. He's going for it. You are?
Yep. To get the double raise, just the single one. Brax manages to barely stay alive.
They're investing a lot of time at this top lane here, MSS and SVG. Now, the nice thing is that it's forcing TC to not go near the wave at all. I mean, he hasn't been able to do much in the last 2-3 waves, but now that Rich is gone, he's like, this is my chance. Oh, no! Oh, no! The second TC's like, I can do something. He goes down. That means they can maybe open up on this mid lane. Oh, they scout out Alley, who's trying to come in from behind. Now Brax going to go in the win run. They decide that they don't want to pursue, but help is on the way. Comes SVG. Back from his suicide. Coconut's going to go out. Just hits Alley for now. But look at the shackle catch onto Yawar as he tries to intercept. That means SVG is good. Knocked. He will not follow up. Yawar's going to go away, but the snowball's not going to stop. It's keep rolling on forward. A connection. Hit. Uppercut. He's down. Yawar's going to get dropped. Now Biru could be next and will be next. A double kill for Brax on the Wind Ranger. But we'll get C up ahead now 6-2.
Yeah, that's Brax back in the game. He was having a bit of a struggle getting out last hit. A lot of the Earthquake just continuing to apply pressure to him, and that rotation there, getting him a double kill and securing up this mid lane, really helps him out a lot. That was a level 8 Shadow Fiend. With that neutral stack, the Shadow Fiend was really just pushing Brax constantly, and Brax all of a sudden is in a decent spot. 48 CS, has Fate Boots completed, about to hit himself, so Suddenly things looking on the up for C9.
Yeah, even Ritsu gets his matchup again against the Darkseer, so he can easily phase him out from the lane. Bulba's going to have to run all the way back now. I mean, he didn't have to run all the way back. He did have a Soul Ring, but he does not want to be there any longer. So Ritsu gets a free lane to work with. TC having a free lane to work with after he get caught out there. So he's just trying to get back on the recovery path. Still quite a bit of ways. For now, just picks up the Quelling Blade. No inkling as far as a early commitment to maybe a drums, but maybe getting that extra durability might be necessary in this kind of a crazy game.
Yeah, he'll eventually go for the Battle Fury, so getting a Quelling Blade now, not a big issue, but I don't think we'll see like a Battle Fury rush. Maybe the Boots of Travel rush is something we're seeing a bit more of. That was the build we saw Shibi doing the other day on Ember Spirit, and just having that mobility to be at fights anywhere on the map seems to be a big part of what Ember Spirit can do, but for now he's not really showing which direction he wants to go.
Trying to keep track here. It's hard to see on the mini-map. SVG has 6 lines already planted. It looks like he just started base here, but...
There's near the mid lane, but protecting the medium camp at mid.
Right here, yeah. Right up in that blind spot.
I think there's 2 or 3. There's been at least, I want to say 3 there maybe. He's trying to just set... That's really the only... That and the Ancients are the 2 traps he's set up right now, but he's going to be maybe prioritizing getting level 6 soon, although he is smoked towards top and looking, he's looking for suicide kill.
Here we go again.
How fast can TC fire Remnant away is the question.
Yeah. Quick trigger finger.
They're actually not going for TC. I think they realize the Snowball just doesn't move fast enough to get the kill. They'd rather find the Shadow Fiend in the jungle.
Well, they're moving. They're going to scout out. There's going to be no stack there. There's going to be no Yawar there. Now they'll see him in the lane. And they figure they can make a go there. Biru is nearby.
Yua's headed bottom. He wants the bottom rune, so this is not going to find him right away. There's no ward spotting them out, but C9 may be thinking, like, is there a ward here? Are we being spotted and wasting our time? Because if there's vision on them right now, they're in a really bad spot. So they'd probably be second-guessing this rotation right about now. And Yua's not even near them. He's just gone to the Ancients, feels safer there than in his own jungle. So this is just a good position for DC to be in, although for now, Tusteki's being patient.
Yeah, if Iru does show himself in this mid lane, he could be in trouble, especially if he throws out the fish. He's waiting to snipe, maybe. He'll have to keep waiting.
Even without using a fissure, a Snowball Ice Shard's Mine will kill BU. So they don't even have to use the Suicide for this one, but they will use the Suicide to get Shadow Fiend.
They move in. Okay.
Make sure they get it.
Better safe than sorry, I suppose.
Yeah, I think mine with a War Punch would have definitely been enough, but... Like you say, better safe.
Yawar, grossly farmed here. Shackle connect. They thought about making a move. It was going to latch, but Yawar's going to head back down the other way. He is still highest in CS. 94. Certainly all those big stacks helped out. Even did a brief Ancient camp. Steps back to return to do it, and he's going the helm of the Dominator build-up again. Gods, but SVG makes his return, runs into a bit of trouble. Ali showing off. He got those birds now, and they do... ridiculous damage. Bulba, ooh, they get him. Good catch right there from MSS with the shards. Is going to force out a fissure to help him, but he's eating a wealth of damage. Snowball is going to be forced to come out. Big man avoid, that's going to get the kill, but they might get the return. MSS before he drops off. Nice shards, but they will not get any additional follow-up. A 1-for-1 trade, but TC also goes down in the top lane, it looks like, to little 1437. A solo kill with a death ward? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's unexpected, but fantastic for 1437. He's gone for this. The same build we saw him do last time on Witch Doctor. Maxes cast, only 1 point in the heal, and then just gets a ton of stats. He just wants to be able to stay alive in fights, and just goes for this pure survivability, and it pays off there, I guess. Gets a kill in TC.
He's going to walk into one little mine. He just... Did he? He did not really have vision there. He just waltzed up, fired off a couple of raises.
He did have vision from this ward. This is a dire ward.
Oh, wait. Oh, it just, okay. Give him a little bit of a creep. That tech was there. Oh, well, Yawar showing off that class. A little bit of sliver vision is all he needs. He lands a good couple of nukes, and that Techies is going to get dropped. And look at this. They're eyeballing the Roche, but there's no medallion in sight for Owie.
Yeah. They're going to go for it anyways, maybe. With Helm of the Dominator. It just sustained fire means he's not going to really take damage to do this. So, Radiant side have a ward near the bottom river, but it did not really spot across near the Roshan pit. So they did not see these heroes to the pit, although I think that's just being pinged out by Shaker. I don't think that was a Radiant thing. And Radiant seem very unaware of Roshan right now, although Brax is headed that direction with a power shot.
It's a good thing for the whole team of DC, because for right now it's a lot on just Yawar. Look 2 spaces down, then you'll see TC at 4th and net. but they're getting there. That will certainly help out everyone on the side of DC. Mid lane, though, they make their go into Earthshaker. It's just MSS, and it's a solo adventure he's going to complete. A hit-and-run job right now from Mojo Stormstout. He'll walk up and away into the woods and be very happy about that pick. C9 pushing ahead 10-4, but there is still just so much fun coming the way of DC, especially with Shadow Fiend.
And this is where Biryu has been so selfless with his play, but he's going to struggle personally as a result. He's not level 6 yet at 14 minutes in the game. He's just a free kill for anyone who catches him out. Tusk can solo kill him when you can, and it's really an issue for him as far as his current position, but what he has accomplished is get Shadow Fiend to the top of the net worth chart by a huge margin. SF is 2k net worth on top of anyone. I don't. It's whether it's going to be worth it in the end, which kind of depends on whether or not Biryu can catch up.
Dire Courier goes down. Ritsu gets in a bit of trouble, but he gets a blink away, but it's right into a beautiful double stun from the birds of Owie. Resummons a new pair, and we'll get the finishing blow with that soul assumption. Very nicely done. Owie in the perfect position to anticipate the blink, and they are rewarded with a big kill on a big hero.
Yeah, that's a double stack here in the Radiant jungle as well, but doesn't look like we'll be able to farm too much of it. Maybe just one of these little hellbears.
So DC on the comeback now. They get the big Roche, big catch there in the AM, and it looks like Biryu could be caught off again. They move in, easy mine, they almost turn away and walk as they know he's getting dropped. That puts MSS that much closer now to getting that Blink Dagger.
Yep. Just trying to get a ward up. It looks like he was hoping to just buy... Like, that's an uncommon spot for Radiant to have a ward at this time, so he probably think he could just go by undetected and put a deep up at the top lane.
Owie goes bottom.
Wow.
He was running away from Brax. They just stopped right on the rune spot there. Maybe he was hoping his team would get there a bit faster, but because he stops there for a bit, Brax is able to catch up and finishes him off. Figured maybe he could have just gone to the Roche pit, tried to juke with a blind or something, but I don't know. Decided to stop. Maybe was checking elsewhere. Yuar, though, makes a new home for himself inside the C9 side, or maybe he was lagging. That could be it also. Well, FPS drop apparently from the side of Mr. Curtis. So we'll get a bit of a pause here. But we look over the overall net worth, and it does look like still relatively close. Actually, more so for the side of DC, just because of the wealth of farm that Yuar has been working with himself.
And then you look down. Compare the SF to the Earthshaker, and that's a big story to me. It's not necessarily a problem for DC. It's very much their overall game plan and strategy with how you use the Shaker, but it can become a concern. We're not going to see... Shaker's catch-up comes from staying alive in a team fight, which, for one thing, is quite unlikely he stays alive. Unless he's right on the edge, only using Fissure, not looking for an Echo Slam. But if he can stay alive a team fight, be near some kills, and just get experience, then suddenly he will bump up to level 7, level 8. He'll get maybe a decent chunk of gold and then be looking at least a mid-game Blink Dagger, but it's very conditional on him surviving a team fight, or at least some gank opportunities.
Looks like maybe we're looking for some opportunities at the top lane. Owie's birds will scout them out. So they will put TC back in a more defensive position, but that means they can kind of push forward a bit in this mid lane. This one will be going down here. He's going to be waiting for the glyph to end, and Brax is not going to try to let him have easy, but he might have to. Yep, he's going to go right in a wind run and try to walk away before trouble could show up. But they're going to still stay here a bit. Same goes for C9 in that top lane. Looks like they want to try to go for a trade themselves.
Yeah, Tusk now picks Blink Dagger, so this is a danger item for DC to have to deal with. We saw what Moo could do with this item yesterday in the Fire versus DC series, so DC will be very wary of this Blink Dagger.
So we'll head back through the bottom. Biryu takes a moment to plant a couple of wards. Quickly rid of the sentry.
Yep.
But they're just looking to establish a bit more of the map control, more so on the side of C9, but you're seeing almost a mirror reflection of that from the other side here, where they put just as much attention towards the top.
Yep. We'll see what Yuar wants to commit to. He's just saved up about 4k gold. Hasn't got the Courier Veil, so hasn't bought anything yet, but I feel like maybe a Sanjin Yasha gets picked here. It's just a good mid-game item, really lets you just siege tower. It's great stats. And BKB is just, it's very defensive in nature and doesn't really help against the physical damage of a suicide and a lot of the techies landmines. It doesn't help necessarily against the anti-mage. It doesn't really feel like a BK rush kind of game. It feels like you can get a lot more out of some other possible items. Maybe even a Shadow Blade is viable, but definitely SMY to me seems like a safe choice.
Yeah, without question. Perlos still continues to have that huge bank of money saved up, and we'll see what he wants to... There it is. SMY just straight up puts the full investment in there. We'll see how proactive he wants to be about it. His invis is also going to be going off, but top lane, we're back. C9, they want this tier 1. They're moving in for it. Got a couple of DC members here.
I said we'll TP up here with Aegis, so looking to defend this.
Yep. TPing at the tier 2. No deep wards coming up from C9. They will not see this rotation, possibly before it's too late. We already know what DC could do with big team fight players like Vacuum and Echo Slam from the Fire matchup. Execution seems to be something they're very comfortable with. There goes Yawar. And that confidence stride forward is not very good for C9.
Yeah, that's it. He needs to be careful. Aegis just expired. C9 didn't want to fight into the Aegis. Does lead to a tower deny. For C9, not the biggest deal. This is still space for the anti-mage. He's just about to pick up Battle Fury. A late Battle Fury, of course, you'd kind of expect it with all the lane swapping, with all the pressure DC on him, but it's not a huge concern for C9 because it's TC who's been completely shut down this game as well. He's still ahead of TC, behind the Shadow Fiend, but this is a Shadow Fiend who's had stacks for himself. He's taken Roshan. No one's going to be on par with the Shadow Fiend for another 10 minutes or so, and that's only assuming C9 start winning some fights. But I mean, for C9, Shadow Fiend can be dealt with, and they can play around the Shadow Fiend by split pushing with the anti-mage and just the threat that is techies.
TC was able to throw together his ruby red shoes, the boot to travel, so that will make things a bit easier for him to be mobile to the farm or get to a, if that will help get more for economy, since he is lacking behind a little bit here. How's our techies been? Quiet techies is a bit of scary techies for both teams. He's now level 6, 6 mines out somewhere, yet to be snagged up. There's been a surprising lack of mine kills this game. DC, I mean, they have Owie on their side, so
yeah, well versed.
Techies
perhaps
enthusiast, though he doesn't like to admit it. I'm sure he's got the idea as far as where Techies is, what he could be up to, and he's trying his best to communicate that across to his team.
I mean, right now, if you look at the mines he's got around the map, it's remotes are being used largely as observer wards. Like, you look at some of these ramps he's put them on, this is mostly single remote mines. He hasn't actually done any big stacks. There's one stack, it looks like, in the top lane where the tier 1 tower is, Radiant team. But even that looks like it's only maybe 2 or 3, so for this techie, it seems much more about the map control and the threat of the techies rather than actually necessarily finding kills directly.
Oof. Ritsu doing that aggressive farm game. Goes right near 4 DC members, but he's still able to make it out from trouble. So he'll have to just resume, go back to the jungle where it's safe, and we'll continue farming there. 12-5 right now. As we get past that 20-minute mark, almost I want to say is the first quarter now completed of this game, possibly. Out even on net worth, XP about the same. Ooh, nice little 100 gold catch right there for Mr. Techies as he finishes off that bird from Owie. He's got 1K saved up here. Now, I'm not the biggest Techies guy here, Gods, but is he looking to push right away into the 4-staff/duels? Do you put more value in getting Acnums in this particular game? Just by the way he's been using the hero and not going too heavy with making huge mind traps, and as you said, using more for vision, could change his build up a bit.
Yeah, I can. I'm not a big techies player either, but I think in terms of just the craft wise, 4-staff is probably going to be the item I'll use the most. Just the threat of being forced into mines will really slow down the game and help just secure the anti-mage some decent late game farms. So I feel like the 4-staff, he's picked up a Staff of Wizardry now, so it's going to be one of those items. Force Yules. Ags, I guess, is still in the picture, but less likely. I think Ags will be more for the late game. But I think the 4-staff rush is just a very solid way of playing the hero.
So back to farm we go. Ritsu's still doing his work. Second in net worth, only to Big Bad Yawar here. Mid lane, he had committed that SMY. Already finished out 1 ulti orb here. So getting more tanky, more that Scotty build up or the Manta.
I think we're looking at a Scotty. He wants lots of stats, lots of survivability. It gives you HP as well as armor. Armor helping a lot against the techies, against the Wind Ranger right-click damage. It's just across the board a good to have. It does increase your mana pool.
Oh! Ritsu walks over for farm, but it's going to be straight into the Echo, and he is gone before they can follow it up with anything else. And that's Ritsu for you. Trying to be the new young star, the new young gun, not afraid to speak his mind.
I mean, we talked about the Earthshaker levels and his... So that's the problem right now. That was a level 1 aftershock. You can't stun an anti-mage with level 1 aftershock.
Yeah.
I think you actually need level 3 aftershock to do it. I think even level 2 isn't enough. So
0.6 will not cut it.
You can't channel your spells. Like, you see an anti-mage on you, you want to Echo so you stun him before he blinks. Echo is like the insta-stun, but You want to change them with Echo into Totem into Fear, but you can only do this when you have enough points in Aftershock, and that's just not the case right now for Biryu.
That will cost him 2 big ultimates as well. So the pressure comes on the bottom lane, knowing that C9 don't need to fear any sort of crazy.
The Echo Slam's not like a scary ultimate to deal with necessarily.
Oh, they get
Fissure
quickly. A pull back vacuum on the other side of the Fissure. Brax looking to retreat after the fall of SVG. Turns back, and he's going to man mode here. Try to on Owie, but Mech's there for Bulba. Brax will go down to the Soul Assumption, but it's actually going to be TC who gets the last little tick there from the Seer.
AM, meanwhile.
Oh, where's that question mark now? Mid lane. Oh, here we go. Friendly banter between both sides. Little Ritsu going to be going down now. 3 for 0. Bottom lane, though. Snipe on the TC from MSS.
Yep.
They end up making it. The war goes down. We go down mid lane.
Yeah, it was him for the Anti-Mage. They traded lives in the mid lane. So Anti-Mage goes in, dies. I think him 1437 went for the kill. Death Ward is, by the way, an Ags Death Ward now. 1437 has silently farmed up an Ags. They kill the SF, but SF actually gets the kill, including the experience for the AM. So 1437, level 13 all of a sudden, basically gets a solo kill on SF, since AM wasn't alive for the experience. It's something huge. Not only has he got an Axe, he's got 1k gold. This is a farmed Witch Doctor.
That's where we wish we had the multicam. Simultaneous breakout right there. Everyone participating. All in bottom, all in mid lane. With the AM going down early, and they do lose Brax early, might have to give that slight nod towards DC side after I think dust does settle.
Yeah, as the dust settles, it was DC getting a bit more out of that. You had both your main cores on C9 going down, AM and Wind Ranger. SF dying on the Dire side, but he did get the experience as well as gold for killing the AM, so...
They want to do Roche soon.
Yep.
Here plants down the tree up and above. There is a Techies behind the pit.
Again, scouting Techies more so than actually look to set up traps.
Chains. 2 familiar stuns, but no additional lockdown thereafter. He's running.
Chains. Missed the combo with the Sleight of Fist, but...
Chain's not there. Yeah. Unlucky TC. Look at this. This is the first kind of stack kind of build up here in the mid lane.
But there's a gem now, and this is a great gem purchaser, so very good at dewarding. You can use your familiars to take out mine, take out wards without putting your hero in trouble. You can stand as far back while you're still in vision range, and one remote mine in the pit. Scouts out this Roche attempt, and it does look like C9 are headed that direction. They've got the Ags Death Ward, which does a huge amount of damage potentially in the pit.
It might be too late, though. This Roche is dropping so fast. You got the help of the Medallion. You have your War with ridiculous amount of right click. And I don't think C9 can do anything about it. Power shot will be there, but that is going to be an Aegis snagged up for your Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, he now completes his Skadi, so another big item coming the way of DC's UR.
Ritsu, though, lots of time for him in this top lane. Yeah. Still nipping at the heels here of Yawara, top net worth. Yeah, finished out that Vlad's and picked up a Yasha along the way.
Oh yeah, and I mean the Skadi it's a great fighting item to fight carries with, but yeah, we'll give him the bigger mana pool, so he does set himself up to become a mana void target. And once AM hits Manta plus Abyssal, he's going to be looking to blink on the SF, Abyssal, Manta, and just try burn his mana away for the mana void. SF's next item naturally will be a Butterfly to help deal with the Anti-Mage. Like he's going to be Butterfly Satanic, probably like his late game as far as where he's headed next, and he'll have those items in pretty good time. Yawara is farming incredibly fast right now.
MSS doing a bit of aggressive farming up here. Might need to be a little bit careful. Just wants to be able to dunk and get the hell out of there. I'm sure he feels a bit unsafe here.
He's been everywhere. He's 4-1 and 7. He's kept up his farm. Has a Solar Crest for the team now. That also amplifies the techies. Like Suicide is a pretty big spell to have in a teamfight scenario. It's definitely worth using. And when you can combine that with a Solar Crest minus 10 armor, that's just going to amplify the damage coming out from that Suicide.
A small window there. If MSS got there a bit sooner, could have got the catch onto Yawar while he was on the mines. Now, it would have been a hefty commitment for just the Aegis, but he was pretty far out of position. Top lane, Ritsu goes back to farm. Aui's on the other side here. Both these teams giving a lot of respect to each other. They just want to have their continuation of farm and then look to clash when they're at their prime. It could be DC first as they approach this mid lane. Already some D-mines here coming from Aui's gem.
Yeah, SF walked over them, but I don't think it was actually enough to kill the SF. He's got a ton of HP. It looked like it was maybe 4 mines, and these are just still level 1 remote mines, so be about 1200 magic damage for resistance. Yua's got 2300 HP, so Yeah. At this stage, you have to make a huge stack and invest a lot of time as techies to put down enough mines to kill an SF, and then chances are it's just going to get scattered up by gem. So you don't really just want to have one mine stack that you commit everything on.
And Ywar is just beasting down this tower. They almost try to get the deny, but not going to be happening. They're going to be picked up from Owie. So tier 2 going to get dropped in favor of DC. Look at the creep cutting, though, from pesky little Ritsu.
Oh, Courier. He's got it with the mantle. Not quite.
Uppercutting the bird. Not going to be enough to finish it off. Nope, they got it there. Last lingering hit. And that is going to be the Courier going down from Dot side in mid lane. Rich is able to pick it off.
Mantle Solutions, it was kind of poorly microed by DC, but not the end of the world for them, but at the same time, it's just money for C9 and kind of...
Oh, here comes trouble from Cloud9. They're going to smoke up and go on the prowl here. You're talking about a Death Ward up and at the red.
Yeah, TC's an ideal target. The Aegis on SF means he's not really a hero you can go for. Still has 2 minutes left in it. You can get him with the Blink Walrus Punch or a Blink Shackle. You're in business.
TC very nervous now. Everyone's missing. Rax is looking to move in with that invis.
Oh, he spots him.
They see the remnant. He pings it out as if be prepared for his possible return.
Great awareness from TC to avoid that gank.
Oh, he is long gone. Yeah, you look at the TC vision, and for the most part, they're in the dark, with the exception of just Ritsu in the mid lane. So they know that top part of the map could just be trouble. So he does not want to be up there. But the rest of his team, they'll do their own split pressure. It's coming in from the south.
Definitely where C9 going to be pressuring this top tier 2 tower with all the push happening bottom lane. SF, about a minute left on his Aegis now, so I don't think DC will get into a position where they can take a true high ground siege, since they're not going to want to risk. Once SF's Aegis is gone, the high ground push, it's just very difficult to do. They haven't got that great defensive hero to keep SF alive should he get jumped on, but he's maybe got a small window if this Aegis expires where he will get some damage on the tier 3.
Dire used their glyph there. I didn't even see why they would use it, but they're coming in bottom lane. And we'll see if C9 are going to be looking to respond.
Ritsu creep cutting bottom.
Nice catch of the Shackle onto Ywar. It's got to be getting close to the back end of that Aegis. They're going to commit it. They're going to get a quick kill on techies. Easy fissure setup, easy right click down. He's going to get dropped. Does have a buyback, otherwise he's going to be out 30 seconds. It is a techies after all. Glimmer Cape's going to avoid a lot of the damage, if not all, from the soul assumption there.
Ritsu's doing great work. He creep cut the bottom lane, and now he's pressuring the mid lane. He's really going to make DC second guess this push, and I think DC may just have to retreat.
Oh, they take some shots on the way out. This coconut, catch him in place. They're going to walk all the way back if they want to get themselves in a safe position to deal with this pesky AM, who is now cutting again, this time on the bottom. Yep. Going to chop out the wave entirely. Really being a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah.
For DC. They'll just take the farm they can get on the way out, but look at this. Cloud9 are making chase here. Seeing if they can get a straggler. Someone who's confident to take one stack by themselves.
I know Ywar has no TP here.
He has no APs either now. It's gone. MSS. They see him. No catch. No movement here. They're just eyeballing each other, making that space for Ritsu. He's the one that's farming the most out of both teams.
He's overtaken Shadow Fiend now. This is when DC's 5-man kind of backfires, when you've got Ritsu just skipping the bottom lane, just accelerating his farm, then going mid, gets a tier 2 tower, and DC just kind of losing the farm game. If they're not taking high ground with that Aegis, then they're getting out-farmed, and that's the kind of position we see ourselves in now. It's actually a radiant lead, the biggest lead of the entire game, with 4,000 net worth in C9's favor.
He just continues to look for so much everywhere. Manta here, send those over there, get the farm that spot. I'm moving here for this camp. I get that camp, I move up, I poke this lane. There's a lot through there.
Smoke, but they're going to find him with these 3 heroes.
Too late. He already made that farming pattern pass.
And again, Biryu just doesn't have the levels. Only 2 points in Aftershock, and this just makes it a lot harder to stun lock and keep the anti-mage in place. Also, you need the Blink Dagger. His Blink extra the way to catch and shut down the anti-mage split push. That's their main initiation. You can Blink Vacuum into like a fissure, but it's not the same kind of chain stun.
Effort there from Brax. Try to get the Blink catch with the Shackle, but it did not latch. You are just a little too off to the side. And they step back. But as this game continues, the minutes start ticking through. I mean, is this AM going to be the end-all be-all as far as late-game potential, or will Ywar be able to Shadow Fiend his way past this pesky AM?
And I think the scary thing is it's not just an AM at this point. You look at Wind Ranger, who's working towards a Daedalus, has tremendous right potential. And SF not going for the butterfly yet. It's picked up a Demon Edge. I guess concerned that Wind Ranger will likely just to an MB as soon as you see the butterfly come out, but definitely feel the Butterfly is going to be a great pickup. Wind Ranger as well, but you are also using MKB to deal with the Wind Run ability, which so far Brax has just been on the front lines, drawing creep and using the Wind Run to always get that. So it's a good way of just punishing Brax being too aggressive when they were defending the high ground.
I really wish I just knew more of techies and competitive techies, not just a pub techies, because, you know, as Yeti put a level into Stasis Trap, you just think that that could be some potential, hide a little Stasis in the fog. Even if they have a gem, it might be too late to catch it before the AoE triggers. And he's obviously been utilizing a lot of the remotes just for vision, so I know there's almost game with the game, which is how this techies is playing. And typically you end up, as a team, playing as almost a 4 versus 5, having a techies on your team, but doesn't feel like it from the side of Cloud9, so they're obviously doing something.
There's definitely different ways to play. Like, you go back to what AUI was doing at TI, and it was very much just he would solo a lane, split push it, and protect himself with mines.
Yeah.
And he would never, like, AUI at TI would never have a bunch of mines stacked together for traps. He was all about just using his mines to pressure a lane and play like a just annoying split push style of Dota with techies. And if you ever gank him, he just suicides, and then it's like you're wasting your time. So that's not quite what we're seeing here from SVG.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is just it doesn't feel
it's
like that.
More like support utility techies we're seeing, I guess.
Oh, gets the TP down for an ambitious one, but it's not going to be happening. Vacuum back into destruction. He is able to get the suicide off, however.
Yeah, and that's, to me, like, the techies just waste their time a bit there. They see the tech and they're like, okay, it's not just Wind Ranger. Let's actually TP in and try to kill. But he suicides. He's forced a lot of rotations. He's got good scouting information for his team, and he's already respawned now. So he's back online. Does have to wait for the suicide. That's only a 65-second cooldown from now. So he hasn't been using suicide as actively as he was in the first 10. And I think the techies was picked up largely for that first 10 to 15 minutes, the roaming with the Tusk, with the just snowball, ice shards, mines, and suicides that really got C9 off to a good start and helped create a lot of space for anti-mage.
Yeah, it was definitely very frustrating for TC at the start of the game. He is playing a bit of catch-up here. Now holds the the Crystalist to go along with his Battle Fury, so he's got a little bit of extra DPS to go along with that big cleave. Still can be rather frail if caught out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard game for TC to get back in. Just playing from behind against an anti-mage and playing well from behind. Anti-mage with an Abyssal, solo killer, and that Abyssal, yeah, will be the next item after this Heart of Trash. So you look at reducing on about 3,000 HP, he is very hard to bring down.
Well, the Basher grab as well. 2K also in the pocket, getting closer and closer to that critical mass, but Ritsu has already shown in this tournament that if he needs to make any sort of adaptation on the fly with his items, he is not hesitant to do so.
Yeah, we've seen like a Lincoln's. He picked up the Lincolns before a Manta style one game even. That was interesting to see. Oh, and Roshan's back up, but Radiant side maybe get in there first.
Pesky little creep though walks in.
It's getting chased by a siege creep. Luckily,
now it's
I don't think they care so much about the Aegis. I think they're more interested in maybe catching DC out and winning a fight right now, rather than trying to take a Roshan.
Oh, big flank setup here coming in from Cloud9. Might catch him right from the back. They see Biryu and they see a kill. Quick grab for them. That's going to take your Shaker out of the equation. Owie could be in trouble. Throws it onto Brax, but he's going to get the one jumped. He goes down. You're going to be popping the Requiem. They're committing for a fight, but they're already behind here. Biryu commits for a buyback, looking to re-engage. Brax is going to be in trouble. The Fisher's going to catch him, and TC gets a double kill. Good turn here for DC, but what a death ward from Steven comes out right now and causes complete chaos across the DC board. Double kill for him. Ritsu shows up and clears out himself. It's going to be 4 down all day. A gem on the deck, which they're going to ping out right now, and that means for an easy Roche. They're going to move right in. They're going to grab it, gods. What a fight for Cloud9.
I think, like, Steven in a lot of ways being the silent MVP this game. He's just been often just quietly farming. Got the solo kill on TC at one point on the Ember Spirit at top lane. He got the kill on the Shadow Fiend at mid when the AM died. He is absolutely massive. That Agh's Glimmer Cape ultimate, once the gem was on the ground, DC had no way of cancelling the Death Ward because they couldn't see him. He was just invis throughout the channel. He's got another 3.5k gold on top of this now. 437 is just monstrous, and his impact in this game has been phenomenal.
Oh, DC bought back for this. If they go down again, this could very well just be the game. And Ritsu does commit for the blink in, but then actually steps back. TC's going to get coconuts there. MSS decides to move in. He snags up the agent right from under the nose of Yawar. And with that, they're going to commit in for a fight and try to go for the finishing blow. Vacuum.
Jesus.
Ritsu to the high wall. They get the cheese. Ritsu He's going to blink down the low ground and make it away from this. MSS right beside them is going to glimmer. He's going to be able to blink away to safety. Now Fissure to fly out. They're going to get trapped. TC's able to get away. Biru not so lucky, but the roll on forward. MSS gets the uppercut. TC should be going down here. One more right click. He's going to drop. Killing spree for Mojo Storm Stout. They're going to get Biru as well, and there it is again. The ward going to get dropped, but this time the distance a little too far off, so Owie's going to look to retreat here. Yawar turns back. Vacuum wall. Subject can be avoided with a blink back. Now they get in. They blow the hell up. Yawar's going to get dropped, and now Owie going to be on the retreat as Brad, but meanwhile down below, look at Ritu, look at a clean house. They are able to bring it down 14-37.
He just fought back well. If they kill TC, it could be all over. SF has no buyback already. I'm with the Abyssal Blade. The catch potential is very scary, but a bit mana depleted here, and that's actually a problem. It does cost you a lot of mana to use that Abyssal initiation, so maybe force back a little bit.
All right. Lots of money invested there for DC. Lots of buybacks. How many all day?
3 at least. Shaker, both carries and Shaker bought back, I think. And Darkseer even.
Darkseer too, yeah.
4 buybacks used, and yeah, no surprise. We see a big climb in the net worth lead for C9.
Yeah.
That
big plays as well from Mojo.
Yeah.
Gets the set on the TC, then just jumps right over him towards Yawar, who thinks he got a safe 8 grab, and he's going to snag it himself.
It's been the utility players of C9. The Witch Doctor, the Tusk, who've just done so much this game. Like, we're not seeing a huge impact out of the techies. It has been much more, it feels like a support style techie rather than a really high impact solo pushing, farming techies with a bunch of items and remote stacks. But, I mean, that's kind of been the role that techie's been put in. SVG often plays that kind of BRUS selfless support role, and he's kind of applied that kind of theory to the techies as well, and it's worked out quite well, but he's given so much space for Theban as well as Mojo to shine.
Yep. Can't help but wonder now what is going to be happening through the minds of DC. I think that's so much just to try to not allow D9 to get too much momentum built up. If no buybacks were there, would have been a almost full C9 roster ready to play with an Aegis in hand, looking to contest the high ground. They wanted to continue that fight. They felt confident that with their return, be able to be come out on top, but C9 is resilient as ever, and now it's them to play a bit of catch up here. Ritsu continues to pull off further and further ahead of where Yawar was. Yawar, you got to remember, he was like, what, 4,000 ahead of AM at one point. Now look how the tables have turned. Ritsu's almost 8K ahead of where Yawar is right now. Almost at critical mass, with the exception of maybe trading out, getting boots of travel. Maybe someone else. It's the Vlad's dead. He subs out that item with something new. At that point, you're just kind of making exchanges, but he hits like a truck now.
It feels like Yawar really desperately needs the butterfly pickup. He's getting taken apart too much by the anti-mage Wind Ranger now. And ideally, wants to get a time where the anti-mage and Wind Ranger can't just respond with a quick MKB. Like if Wind Ranger commits to another item first, although I mean, I mentioned Brax is probably expecting a butterfly to come, so he may go for it regardless. But anti-mage is unlikely to go for an MKB. It's just not really one of your ideal items to have as an anti-mage. So we'll see if that's going to come out at all for Ritsu. But a B-Fly on SF, and he's ideally gets B-Fly Satanic sometime in the next 10 minutes, and then maybe you see DC having a shot at the late game. They have farmed up a Hex on Bulba, so Bulba's thrown up some great late game potential of his own with this Hex pickup.
I mean, that may be nice, but I just saw 2 BKBs come up on the side of Cloud9. You're looking at MSS, now how it's hit. And then, as if it wasn't hard enough to stop that ward, he has got a BKB now on this Witch Doctor. That is going to be a lot of severe damage. Just maybe
familiar stunts. Oh, Curtis.
Okay, they move in. Sharp. Biru could be caught from behind here. Oh, massive damage coming out from Brax is going to get the easy finish onto him.
Yeah, dies to save the Visage, but they're going to lose all these familiars, it looks like.
Yep. There's one, there's 2.
One left.
And they'll leave the other one, but that's 200 extra gold.
That was a fresh summon as well. So he's only got the single familiar for the next 100 seconds, and I think this may just be a high ground attempt coming out, yeah?
Looks like it. They're moving right in. Glyph immediately popped there. TC trying his best, uses the Sleight of Fist to clear up the pressure.
The Solar Crest on AM. He doesn't even need it, but he just gets free evasion.
Yep. And there's MKB on Shadow Fiend, but that is it. And now Brax Focus Fire on the racks themselves, vacuum into the wall. AM is going to get caught with the illusion, does pretty good damage between the both of them, but snowball forward from MSS, gets the grab onto Owie. Owie's going to get hit with the uppercut, will live, but the ward is getting dropped right now, and they need to get the hell back. But look at that Ritsu illusion doing work on MSS. They finally are able to take it down. He tries to go for the wards thereafter. He already committed the blink, drops the missile, and gets the second blink to go out to the outside. They're looking to retreat here. All back, big chain connection from TC. He goes for the void, but it's not going to be doing anything.
It was a stun. He went into stun.
Vacuum. They're still on chase here. Can they get him? He blinks again. Getting so far. TC needs to wait one more second. They're not going to make chase.
The Monovoid may have saved his life there. It's hard to know for sure, but he was just looking to stun the SF and cancel like 1 or 2 attacks if possible, because that SF brings him down so fast with the right click. So very defensive Monovoid, was not at all looking for a kill there, and yeah, why not? They're already on the retreat. They're not looking to keep fighting. And C9 get repelled. They do get a melee racks though, and most of the range racks, but DC at least show they can still hold their own in a team fight scenario.
That's going to be enough, though. Just taking down Brax, but they lose their tier 3. They lose the racks themselves, and we already know how much money those racks hit over. Everyone benefiting from that from the side of C9. Now DC, it's looking like they're going to be on defensive mode for a while here. Roche, I don't know how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
The clock is not yet fixed. Someone put some batteries in the... Oh, well. Should be coming in the near future here, and I'm sure both teams will recognize that. Yep. C9, though, with more superior map control at this point, DC are going to be way too uncomfortable trying to adventure out.
Yeah. And Yuar has committed to evasion, picks up the talisman for now, so we'll give C9 plenty of time to build up their KBs if that's going to be the next item, which I'm pretty certain will be for Brax, and Anti-Mage maybe less certain about, but it's always a possibility. He's easily tanky enough. He's bought a BKB, though, so it looks like with the BKB filling up an item slot, he just doesn't have the space, and he'll probably go just for a Moonshard.
Last outer tower here.
Oh boy, this is actually a big threat to this top lane.
Still got half of its time, too. Oh, DC will see this.
SF is short a couple hundred for buyback, although trying to farm at mid, that 200 gold could be very costly. His buyback may be necessary for this high ground defense.
Not going to be able to get it right now, but C9 also not moving in just yet. Here comes the creeps, though. They'll move out in front. TC's going to quickly try to rid of them, even has the Ion Shell to help out. And now the wave will spawn. Rit moves in, gets some minor damage onto the tower, and quickly jumps right back out. This is going to be a bit of a flirty game here.
Oh yeah, SF is just begging for that buyback money right now, just to give him that peace of mind to be able to be in the front lines to defend it. He's got it now, so... Oh no, he's still 100 short.
Now they get the lock down Ritsu with the help of the familiars. Right click comes, Brax moves in, just out the shackle. Oh. Forces MS's BKB, maybe a bit early. They thought about committing, then decided not to.
Yep.
Stasis traps are slowly starting to come out here from SVG. So if he can make some sort of home base out here, and they somehow manage to draw DC out from the base, maybe trying to make chase when they think that they have the upper hand, could lead to a quick turnaround.
They smoke around, but that's exactly what you were talking about. You've got to be so worried about potential mines catching you out. Unless you're like smoking towards bottom line, but
smoking towards the secret shop?
SF has no TP, so he's like, you've got to defend if you're the SF.
Tier 3 is down. Rax is exposed now. Digital Chaos pressured inside their own castle grounds here. Are they gonna be able to stop C9? Continue to wait. Build
Continue
up big
to build
stacks.
Up mines, yeah.
Is there still a gem on the side? Yes, they have one for Owie. Those are right on the upper ledge. It's going to be a blind spot until they actually can get up there, and by the time they do, it could be too late. Chains for now on Aritsu, but my goodness, this kid hits hard.
He can just BKB and go for the melee.
Easy range down.
Potentially.
Links out before the stun can come out from the familiar here, but they're able to catch Brax.
They've got the sign out, so Techies just puts the sign on the high ground.
Oh, they see it, and they can't do anything about it.
I think they know there's not too many mines. There's only been one planted so far.
Yeah, but
so
the range, he can plant it. Look at, woo, yeah. What are you going to do? That's free, big magic burst damage.
Oh, yeah. And it is level 2 remotes with Ag, so they do a good amount, 600 damage apiece.
All right, they inch in, shards fly. They are thinking about to go on to Ritsu here. They get the lockdown, but there it is. The vacuum wall is going to catch on the Brax, but Snowball Good snag from MSS. Roll on in. There's going to be the echo from Biryu, but it's not going to do too much effective damage. Soulsun going to fly. They're looking to focus fire. Yawar, he will go down. Does have a buyback. Will need to use it here. Biryu is going to be dripping there. Now they look to TC. What a bash catch right there, but he is able to remnant away from trouble. No additional focus onto the racks. They see both buybacks come out from both your Earthshaker and your Shadow Fiend.
These mines didn't do quite...
Oh, not enough, but what a shackle coming out from Brax. Latches onto both Owie and the Yawar. He goes down. It's a dieback from him. Could be the beginning of the end here for DC, and it is going to be the end. They throw in the towel. Game 1 of this best of 5 is going to go to Cloud9.
Oh, that snowball at the end there by MSS, the wall did not get the antimates. They really want that AM illusion. It does so much damage. That's what kind of won them that last, or Studo won them that last fight at mid lane of Rax, was having that AM illusion. But the snowball, man, it only caught the win range of both Tusk and AM. Get caught in the wall. They then went in forward and got kills on the Shadow Fiend as well as the Darkseer. That was just, I mean, great plays coming out from MSS, especially on the Tusk this game. I mean,
Really?
Look at that kill involvement, 6-3 and 18.